We live in a world that constantly pulls us outward, into activity, into noise, into distraction. We are told that happiness lies in being busy, in being liked, in being surrounded. And yet, the more we chase connection without anchoring in ourselves, the more disconnected we often become from our essence, from our peace, from the divine. Yogananda's words offer a gentle yet profound invitation to turn inward and rediscover the sacred joy of solitude, not as isolation, but as intimacy with our truest self, the divine presence within us. Now let us hear his sacred words. Let us cultivate inner silence and learn to enjoy our own company. Let there frequently be the bliss of solitude. It is fine to meet people sometimes, and then we should mix with them with all our heart's love and goodwill, but to always run after human company and to be sadly lonely when we don't have it is not healthy. We should be able to enjoy both work and leisure, both company and solitude. In the ultimate state of nirvikalpa samadhi, we can be in the world, busy doing all our duties and mixing with all kinds of people, but never for a moment lose the blissful company of the cosmic beloved. Enjoy solitude, but when you want to mingle with others, do so with all your love and friendship, so that they will not forget you, but will always remember that they met someone who inspired them and directed their minds toward God. You will cry out in loneliness again and again until you realize that God is all in all, the only reality in the universe. You are made in His image. You can never find lasting happiness in anything because nothing is complete except God. Yogananda says, let us cultivate inner silence and learn to enjoy our own company. This is not a call to withdraw from the world, but a reminder that there is a world within us just as vast and beautiful as anything outside. Silence, when embraced intentionally, becomes a temple, a place where we meet our soul without masks or distractions. For many, silence feels threatening. It brings up discomfort, restlessness, and even emotional pain. But this is exactly why Yogananda speaks of cultivating silence. It must be practiced like a gentle art. It's not something most of us are naturally comfortable with. But over time, the silence that once felt empty begins to feel full, with presence, with insight, with peace. We must learn to enjoy our own company, to sit with ourselves not as critics, not as escape artists, but as sacred witnesses. Because how can we truly enjoy the company of others or love another deeply if we cannot first befriend ourselves? Now, Yogananda balances this message with an important truth. It is fine to meet people sometimes, and then we should mix with them with all our heart's love and goodwill. This isn't about rejecting the world. It's not about avoiding connection or community. It's about transforming the quality of our presence when we do connect. When you are grounded in inner silence, when you're no longer clinging to people to fill a void, you become free to love more purely. You give from abundance, not from need. You listen with your heart, not with an agenda. You inspire not by preaching, but simply by your calm and your joy. But Yogananda warns us of a common trap. To always run after human company and to be sadly lonely when we don't have it is not healthy. There is a loneliness born from absence and a loneliness born from disconnection, even in the presence of others. The first is natural, the second is spiritual hunger. It is the soul's cry for something deeper, for something that no human interaction can fully satisfy. Modern society teaches us to avoid solitude at all costs. But loneliness is not cured by crowding ourselves with people. It is healed by discovering that we are never truly alone. Yogananda says we should be able to enjoy both work and leisure, both company and solitude. This is true spiritual balance. A spiritually awake person does not escape life. They engage with it fully, joyfully, but without becoming dependent on any part of it for their identity. When we are grounded in the self, we can work with focus, but not become addicted to achievement. We can rest with peace, but not fall into idleness. We can enjoy others, but not fear being alone. Now comes a sublime truth from Yogananda. In the ultimate state of nirvikalpa samadhi, we can be in the world, busy doing all our duties and mixing with all kinds of people, but never for a moment lose the blissful company of the cosmic beloved. What a vision this paints! A person walking through life, cooking meals, sending emails, caring for loved ones, meeting strangers, and all the while their heart is inwardly tuned to the beloved. This is the essence of the mystical path, not escaping the world, but bringing the presence of God into everything we do. Yogananda is describing a state of interior union, a way of living where the soul is never exiled from God, even while the body walks through the noise of the world. This is not just for saints in caves. It is a possibility for you right now. But it begins in solitude. It begins in silence. It begins with learning to sit in your own presence until you feel the divine presence stirring there too. Next, he tells us, enjoy solitude. But when you want to mingle with others, do so with all your love and friendship, so that they will not forget you but will always remember that they met someone who inspired them and directed their minds toward God. What a powerful calling! We are not meant to withdraw out of bitterness or spiritual pride, but to emerge from solitude as bearers of light. When you've touched something eternal in the silence of your soul, you begin to reflect that eternity to others. Your words carry stillness. Your eyes speak peace. Your presence plants seeds even if you never mention God by name. You don't have to preach to be spiritual. Your life, your energy, your sincerity, these are the most eloquent sermons. Now we reach one of the most poignant lines. You will cry out in loneliness again and again until you realize that God is all in all, the only reality in the universe. This is not a judgment, it is compassion. Yogananda is telling us the yearning you feel, the emptiness that returns no matter how much you achieve or who you love, it is all a sacred pointer. It's leading you home. As long as we keep searching for permanence in impermanent things, we will suffer. As long as we look for completion in other people or possessions, we will be disappointed. Not because the world is cruel, but because it's not meant to fulfill what only God can. Every heartbreak is a doorway. Every silence is a whisper. Every longing is a message. Come back to me. And then he reminds us of our divine origin. You are made in his image. This is not a metaphor. It is a truth to be lived. You are not a broken puzzle trying to be fixed. You are a soul rediscovering its brilliance. The divine is not just above you, it is within you as your essence, your breath, your awareness. Finally, he says, you can never find lasting happiness in anything because nothing is complete except God. We all want happiness that lasts. But if we look at our lives honestly, most of our joys have an expiration date. The new job, the new relationship, the new success, They light us up for a moment, then fade. This is not a failure, it's a signpost. Everything in this world is designed to reflect, not replace the divine. It's meant to awaken longing, not satisfy it fully. And when we realize this, we begin to live with more freedom. We can enjoy the gifts of life without clinging. We can love others without needing them to complete us. We can walk through change without fear, because our happiness no longer depends on what changes. So what does this mean for you? It means that solitude is not your enemy. It is your gateway. It means that if you feel lonely, you are not broken, you are being called inward. It means that the truest love you will ever know is already planted inside you, waiting to be remembered. Yogananda is not asking us to become hermits. He's asking us to remember who we are so that we can live in this world without losing ourselves to it. Imagine what your life would feel like if every time you sat in silence, you felt peace. Imagine what it would be like to love people, not because you need their approval, but because you are overflowing with God's love. Imagine walking through your day through heartbreaks and celebrations with a quiet confidence that no matter what happens, you are not alone. This is not a distant dream, it is your soul's natural state. And through daily practice, through moments of silence, devotion, awareness, you can return to it again and again until it becomes your home. So let this message stay with you. Be alone, and know you are never alone. Seek no one, and you will find the one who has always been seeking you. In silence, discover your soul. In your soul, discover God. And once you've touched that divine joy, share it. Let your presence become a reminder to others that there is something deeper, something real, something eternal, and that it lives within them too. If this message stirred something within you, if it reminded you of a truth your soul has always known, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who may be longing for peace in the silence. Leave a comment about your own journey with solitude and divine connection. And if you'd like more messages like this, filled with light and wisdom, remember to subscribe. This space was created for hearts like yours, seeking, growing, and remembering the love that never leaves.